The charity bus camera crew met with the Latkowski family in a quiet neighborhood on Long Island, where we learn why Dean, the head of the household, can no longer work due to a heart condition.
He said, Mr. Latkowski, they went in to try to stent it. They couldn't stent it because of where it was, and the artery was too brittle. They tried to open it up as much as they can without causing me a heart attack. And then we went back into the room. The doctor came in and I saw it on his face. He said, do you want the good news or you want the bad news? So I said, well, give me the bad news first. Well, the bad news is I can't do anything for you. You are not going to work. You can't work anymore physically. How am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to pay the bills? Not me working, because I'm not the type of guy to sit around and I just can't. It's not me to just sit around. I can't, I just couldn't picture myself doing any of this. Knowing that I couldn't work anymore, knowing that I couldn't, ride a bike or, go running or, stuff that is physical, I can't do.
Less than 3 years later, Denise gets bad news from her own doctor.
You have lesions in your brain. Did you have a stroke? No, never had a stroke. Well, Mrs. Latkowski, I think you have MS. And I'm like, what? So he pulled, new doctor. He was pulling all the things fast, different tests. So usually it takes you 6 months to a year to be diagnosed. But because he pulled in all favors, August of 2012, you have MS.
Struggling to pay the bills, the mortgage falls behind and the house falls into foreclosure.
Disability doesn't really cover the expenses.
His disability check didn't pay the mortgage.
Didn't pay the mortgage.
The mortgage was more than the disability.
So we relied on her money to pay the rest of the mortgage and the other bills that we had.
I was working 2 jobs until last year I had to have an emergency surgery. And so I lost my full-time, and now I'm working part-time, and I'm trying desperately to find full-time.
The sacrifices of the family have spread to their son Dominic.
I was picked to represent Team USA, and they wanted me to go across seas to Italy and play Italy's national team or Ireland's national team, and we just don't have the money for me to go, and it's just a sacrifice I have to make because we don't have it. My mom, she just does whatever she can to help us. She's working part-time right now, and it's really hard for her to find a full-time job. My dad can't work anymore because of his heart. It was just hard, like I'm trying my best to find my own job right now so they don't have to keep giving me money for like gas and like what I want to do with my friends. So I'm trying my best to find my own job.
Right, I think he wanted to play for a scholarship so we wouldn't have the burden of college.
College, or paying for college.
When I go to college, I want to study business administration and business management. And I want to learn how to run a business. Right now, my parents are going on one car. The white one that's out in the driveway. My mom drives to work every morning and comes home at like 3, 4 o'clock. He's stuck in the house all day because he can't go anywhere.
I have maybe a stack like this, co-payments that I can't afford to pay. I just don't have the extra money to pay it, and it just keeps on building up. I got my medicines that I gotta pay for. I take about 15 pills in the morning, and I take about 10 pills at night, just to keep going.
He needs a bottom bridge in his mouth.
My concerns are, as of right now, how I'm gonna put oil in the tank to heat the house.
The happy ending is for me to work as hard as I can to get money so I can support my parents again and my future family, my wife and my future kids.
What would a happy ending be?
To have a place to live that It's not
To have a roof over our heads and to have a halfway decent life where we don't have to struggle.
I feel like he does whatever he can to help make me happy. And I really appreciate that he tries his hardest.
It's just hard.
The charity bosses also watched that interview in the conference room.
It's very difficult to watch. A family going through what they're going through.
The emotion that he shows is something that I could relate to if I didn't have the ability to work.
Provide.
It's kind of how we're wired,
Yeah.
and it's been taken away from him. I was particularly moved by the happy ending that the son has. 17 years old, and his goal is to get a job so that he can support his mom and dad. Anybody have any thoughts to start?
Have they tried heat? There's heat for heating oil. They have the heat program. It's called something like that. My dad works for an oil company for 30-something years, so I'm kind of familiar with that.
Is there a way you can make a call while we're here to see what you can find out?
That's what he's done his whole life. So yeah.
So where
That would
there's
be because they said that's the number one thing is keeping oil in the tank and keeping the house warm. I think that there's something that can be done with that.
all right. So then I'll make a quick note that you're going to try to make a phone call
That's what he's done his whole life.
during our break and see if we can get. So that's assistance from the government, right?
Now that the bosses have figured out their heating problem, they move on to the Latkowski's vehicles.
Also mentioned they have one car. This car has some issues as well. I'm told that they badly need a set of tires, and they badly need rear brakes. I have someone that I think I might be able to call who will repair the car and take care of the tires as well. The bottom bridge.
You had that.
Dr. Alan Farber of the Farber Center is a good friend of mine, and I think I could reach out to him and see what he can do about maybe an implant. I'm not sure, you have to be like a candidate to get that, so there probably would have to be some type of consult done
With the
first.
goal of helping long term, the focus shifts to employment.
If the niece is looking for full-time work, she had 2 jobs. So she worked full-time and she worked part-time. Had the emergency surgery, lost the full-time job in the process, still has the part-time work, desperately wants full-time work.
And what does she do again? I'm sorry.
Well, she's a medical assistant,
Right.
and the description of the job is she's the one who's kind of right alongside the doctor, doing the blood pressure and, taking the notes and all that type of stuff and building out the file. However, she did say that she has the ability to be a secretary, assistant, receptionist. She's done that for years. She just went and got the medical license or degree so that she can expand and try to find something that she thought would pay more money.
My concern is the next few months for them to get them into their home to be stable. Then, because they are facing foreclosures at the present time, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so how we could get them to be stable first in their home so they have less worry about being kicked out of their house.
Somebody has to talk to the bank.
You have a friend,
Yeah,
don't
I have
you?
a good friend
Yeah.
that's an attorney, and I spoke to him earlier
That's
today, and he said that you can definitely delay a foreclosure proceeding and actually there's a difference between going into foreclosure and getting kicked out.
Yeah.
It could be 5 years in between those steps. So he can definitely help out with delaying the process and keeping them in the home as long as possible.
What we really need to get them is some legal consult
Yeah. If you know somebody.
that can come alongside of them. Maybe your friend, if you can give him a call on the break, and we'll get a hold of him and see what he's advising.
Where does the son want to go to college?
The son is a 17-year-old who, if we remember when we were 17, didn't have that issue more than likely that we thought we had to take care of our parents. But he's thinking like a 17-year-old. His heart's in the right place, but he's been told, you go to college, get an MBA, start a business. We probably collectively are sitting here with 0 MBAs, and we're business owners. I'd love this kid to one day be a charity boss years from now, where he starts a business because he has that kind of heart. I think he could probably use a conversation from one of us to tell him that there are ways that you can start a business, be an apprentice somewhere, and be able to live out that dream. But his goal was to do that, and knowing his parents couldn't do it, he was playing football to get that full scholarship. And while his teammates were playing for fun, maybe to impress a girl in the hallway, he was playing to take care of his parents.
Why not go to Suffolk for $2,000 a year? I mean, I went there and got an associate's from there. It's, in the first 2 years of college, you take the same courses that you do at a SUNY school for $25,000, $30,000 a year that you do at Suffolk for $2,000, and you could stay at home and work, not have the room and board and everything else that goes into it. I mean,
And then just transfer your credits.
And there's definitely grants
Yeah.
available for.
Pell Grants and everything. Yeah, I mean, it took
in
me
this
3.5
situation,
years to do 2 years.
They're
but
not qualified. I don't think anybody would be qualified.
Well, you know
Who's
what?
counting?
I'll check with one of our bosses who's not here, Jamie Kim, about financial advice for the family, and he can look into financial aid and different things that might be available to them.
I'm sure he would be qualified for financial
Yeah, he
aid.
did.
So,
I don't think they
there's
make
no
it
doubt
much.
in my mind
Yeah.
that he would be.
Even at Suffolk, he would probably get financial.
Even
aid.
at Suffolk, you're
Well,
right.
you'd think a full ride perhaps at Suffolk, and anything that he's falling short, we
Yeah.
may be able to pitch in and
Yeah,
help him
but
through,
I
so we
can't
can
see-
get that.
I can't see going away to college for $40,000 a year, or even a SUNY school is probably 25 now, when you could get the same thing for 4 at home and help your parents out more.
So then, why don't we discuss the opportunity of helping this kid see his ability through with some type of education at a community college like Suffolk?
It makes more sense.
And Suffolk has a great football program. Very, very good
You
football
make that,
program. Yeah, they have an excellent one.
Mike from the Fireplace Factory has an idea.
I'm co-owner of a company called the Fireplace Factory, and we actually can provide a wood-burning stove for this, possibly provide a stove for them if they have a place to put it in their home.
If the house is taken away, the stove,
The stove can be moved. It can be moved. Yeah, it's not
so
permanent.
this will help with the heating costs.
Correct. Yeah. It would
I assume
help a
wood
lot.
is cheap compared
Wood is
to.
very
But we
cheap,
also
yeah.
have somebody that can deliver firewood, so we can reach out to them to see about getting them maybe a cord of wood for free. That'll heat the house. That won't help with the hot water though.
And even if we had to chip in a couple of dollars to pick up a couple of cords of
So,
wood, that's
Yeah,
We
it's
may
not
have
that
to
expensive.
we may have to get them some oil just to run the water heater, so they have hot water.
that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
The charity bosses took a break and called up their contacts.
So just real quick, as I was telling you, they are they're either in foreclosure or they're going to be very soon. They haven't paid their mortgage in a while, and I just want to see if there's a possibility that you might be able to help out with, whatever legal paperwork might be necessary to try to keep them out of foreclosure or keep them in the house as long as possible.
Sure, there's a lot of things you could do, and nowadays the banks are pretty flexible. There's a lot of programs available, so I can definitely speak to them and see if we can work something out.
That was David Grossman. He's a good friend of mine who's an attorney, and he'll be able to help out with keeping them out of foreclosure or prolonging the process as long as possible and keeping them in the house.
Joe calls up his dad in the heating oil industry.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. All right, so I have somebody who is disabled.
Okay.
What programs do they have that can help somebody like this out for heating oil?
Okay, well, they have a program in Suffolk County, the Heating Assist Program. Give a one-time disbursement.
Okay.
I called up $625. I think it's $625.
While Joe gets the information about heating assistance, Anthony calls his contacts.
Wondering if maybe you could help out a little bit.
Absolutely. What do you need us to do?
They have a 2012 Hyundai Tucson, and it's got like 50,000 miles on it, but they've got a couple of issues that they just are struggling to take care of. I think rear brakes and tires. Is that too much?
No, not at all. We'd be happy to help them.
That's like super cool. And I'm guessing at least $1,000 worth of auto work is just done, just taken care of completely thanks to good people. The people over at Shirley Auto Body. Really cool. Really cool. Really happy.
Speaking of auto work, Joe gets on the phone with his auto guy.
Car is in need of some repairs, needs brakes, probably some kind of a oil change and a tune-up and just a once-over on the car. I know you take care of all my vehicles, so You think you'd be able to take care of that, and we'll work off something, on the account?
I give you the part that cost.
Okay.
Like literally, I give you the bill.
Yep.
From my parts house, and I'll do the labor.
Okay.
100%, bro. It's charity, dude. I'm with you, bro.
Okay.
Charity's charity, man. I'm with you 100% on that.
Chuck, thank you very much.
Anthony places a call to one of the bosses who couldn't make the meeting.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I had work to do.
I sent you the video clip. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I watched it with my daughter, and it's pretty heart wrenching. You don't realize how big you have it until you see a real hardship story.
So I just wanted to see how you felt about this whole thing, and if how you wanted to help out.
So I'm in 100%. Whatever you guys suggest to do. I feel really good about doing something for somebody, and this definitely seems like the family in detail.
And one final call to Jennifer at Amendola's Fence Company.
The bosses got together, and we were able to really help this family out in a big way. So it looks like we might have some employment opportunities lined up, and some legal counsel, and financial counseling, and maybe even some help to get this kid Dominic a business degree, some type of financial aid, or a scholarship over at Suffolk.
Oh, that's amazing, Anthony. I'm so happy to be part of this. And, whatever I can do to help, please let me know what I can do.
Having reached out to their contacts, the bosses headed back to the boardroom.
Well, welcome back. Everybody get an opportunity to make some phone calls, reach out to their contacts?
Yes.
All right, I did as well, and I think it's probably a good idea right now that we just kind of go around the room and just get a feel for what type of resources we were able to secure. Norm, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I reached out to my friend Dave Grossman of Dave Grossman and Associates. He's an attorney, good friend of mine, and I was talking to him about the foreclosure situation with the house, and he said that there's a lot of different ways that they can delay or even negate a foreclosure. So he's willing to give legal advice, file papers in court if he needs to, whatever legal route needs to be taken.
Joe, any luck?
Yeah, I spoke to my dad at Perla Brothers Fuel Oil. He said, I have the number here, he said, if you could write this down, that there's a county program called HEAP, and typically they will give you up to $625, I think, in oil. And they said that's their most pressing thing. On top of that, tomorrow he's going to reach out to me, but he also have the number. There's another program by the state that gives you up to 150 gallons per drop. The other person I spoke to was Chuck at Patriot Auto, and he was pretty adamant that it's the season to help out and everything else. So he was fine with donating all the labor as long as we take care of the the parts, whatever parts are needed for the son's vehicle.
Okay.
So what I'll do is whatever that is, I'll just work out with him because he's done more than enough for me. So I'll take care of the parts.
We're off to a good start, bosses.
Yep.
That's not bad. So we got legal counsel, we got the heating oil taken care of, we're taking care of the kid's car. Any luck?
So we reached out to Jamie Kim. He's one of our bosses, and he is also a CPA. He's wonderful, and he is offering a full consultation, a financial consultation to the family. He's also offering any kind of consultation for Dominic, for his school.
Okay, so like for the
financial aid or anything like that.
How about you, Mike? Any luck out there?
Yes.
So you're working the phones.
Yeah, work the phones. What we're willing to do with the fireplace factory is if the oil program doesn't work out and they have a situation with heat, we will put a wood stove, one of our wood stoves in their home. They can use that for the heating of the house. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that would be great.
Interestingly, I reached out to my friends over at Shirley Auto Body and Anthony and Joe Pasanti. Really good people. I had shared with them about the family car, the one car issue with the Hyundai Odyssey. Oh, Hyundai, is it an Odyssey? Tucson. And they told me, they didn't even ask questions. They were, take care of the tires, take care of the rear brakes, no issues whatsoever. So that's going to take a load off of them.
Wow.
Then I got very fortunate. I got two for one here. I called up Alan Farber, Dr. Farber from Farber Periodontics and the Farber Center over in Smithtown. guess what they have? They have an opening for a full-time medical assistant.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
How awesome
That's
is that?
unbelievable.
That's working out great.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Again, just good people. Heard that she had this situation, wanted to just quickly step up and try to help out. Of course,
Oh, that's
you know, she has to go through the process of making sure she's qualified, but assuming everything is what we think it is, she's going to have gainful employment.
That's great.
Which is exciting.
Wow.
And then through the conversation, Dr. Farber himself, because I was speaking to Veronica, Dr. Farber himself was made aware of the bridge that Dean needs, and being a periodontist, he's willing to offer his services and an implant at no charge.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
no
that's
charge.
unbelievable.
Yeah, seriously, bosses.
Thank
let's-
you.
When our friends come together,
That is
it just
wonderful.
puts a smile on our faces, doesn't it? We've got this situation with Dominic and his goals of trying to become a businessman. I'm sure every one of us can step alongside.
Relate.
And every one of us can relate and step alongside this kid and give him some ideas and advice, and hopefully Jane will be able to help him out, and we'll be able to get the financial aid that he needs. But if you're all comfortable with it, if that falls short, maybe we can pitch in and try to help him through anything that maybe books, books or something like that. If it falls short, we can kind of step up and help out.
Definitely.
So reached out to the other bosses who aren't able to be in the room today, and that's Simon over at AHS at Home Services, as well as Jennifer at Amador's Fence, and Ronnie at US Air and Heat, and they're all willing to. They support what we're doing, and they're willing to make financial contributions.
That's great. That's
to
wonderful.
to
Very
help the
exciting.
family out. And so I just want to thank everybody.
Thank you.
1 week later, it was time to bring it all home.
Charity Boss, Long Island. To the Latkowski family. The charity bosses were moved by your family situation, and we would like to lend you a hand during your time of need. First, we know you have many financial concerns. The bosses have arranged for free financial consulting, helping from our CPA, Gemma Kim. We'll help you navigate this difficulty financing train and help Dominic with his financial aid paperwork as well. We also know that the foreclosure process is difficult when you are fighting alone. Because of this, we have secured free legal counsel from our expert foreclosure attorney, Dave Grossman, to help the family, although the foreclosure process with an aim to keep your family in a home for as long as possible. We also know how hard it is to drive to work knowing your car needs tires, brakes. The bosses reached out to Shirley Auto Body, and they would like to give your Hyundai Tucson free tires and
New brakes.
new brakes. You also don't have to worry about how you are going to buy oil this winter. The bosses are going to help you receive free oil courtesy of HEAP program, and if there is a delay, the bosses will purchase your heating oil for you until program begins. If you don't qualify for heating assistance, the Fireplace Factory will be installing a wood-burning stove in your home that will keep your home warm with a year's worth of wood free. To help reduce your utility bills, the Big Bear Electric of Youngpank is offering you free LED lights, bulbs for every room in your home. This is sure to lower your electric bill significantly every month. In addition to helping with some of your energy bills, the bosses wanted to help with your
Dental issues as well.
dental issues as well. We know you need a bridge, So we reached out to our friends, Dr. Alan Farber and Farber Center for Periodontist and Dental Implants. He would like to offer you a free consult, and if you are a candidate, a free implant as well. We hope this helps make your day-to-day life better. Give me a minute. Dominic, we know how hard you have tried to help the family by earning a football scholarship. The bosses were impressed by your goal to take care of your parents by starting a business. Thinking that is a noble goal. To start, you're going to need to learn how to go to work every day, so the bosses reached out to Richie at the Handy Pantry on Neighborhood Road in Mastic Beach, and he has agreed to hire you part-time starting next week. But Dominic, we also know that your car is going to need a bumper-to-bumper checkup. The bosses called Patriot Auto Repair of Mastic. They have agreed to check your car over and offer free labor on any repairs that need to be done. The cost of the parts will be covered by Irrigation Solutions, so your car will be running as good as ever. Our CPA will work with you on getting financial aid, and we believe that you can get a solid 2-year business degree at Suffolk or Nassau Community College. Any shortfall in financial aid can be picked up by the bosses along with book supplies. Many of the bosses run successful businesses without MBAs. And of course, every boss is available to offer advice to you along the way. With all of this, there's still one more important thing we have to offer you.
Hi.
Hi, I heard you're doing a part-time medical billing.
Yes.
Well, we may have an opportunity for you in my dental practices. We have 2 offices and we're looking for full-time
Oh, that
help.
would be wonderful.
So we're going to offer you an opportunity. We'd like you to come and interview as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got a full-time job, I think. Oh my God, thank you everybody so much.
Yes,
so
thank you.
much. It's unbelievable. It's the man upstairs is always looking out.
This is
And,
our Christmas miracle.
This is our Christmas miracle, absolutely.
To find out how you can help this family and other families, visit CharityBossLI.com.